What does this traffic sign indicate? A federal road Bundesstraße. Vehicles may not drive faster than 35 km per hour. Vehicles must drive at least 35 km per hour. What must you be aware of when you see this road traffic sign? Stones may be lying on the roadway. Avoid stopping and parking. Vehicles in front may brake suddenly. What is allowed in the zone which starts here? Parking, provided a parking disc is used. Stopping for loading or unloading as well as boarding or alighting. Stopping for up to 3 minutes. Stopping for up to 3 minutes. What does this traffic sign indicate? The end of an autobahn. The start of an autobahn. The start of a clearway for motor vehicles only. What is allowed at this traffic sign? Waiting up to 3 minutes. Parking, provided a parking disc is used. Stopping for loading or unloading, for alighting or boarding vehicles. Waiting up to 3 minutes. Stopping for loading or unloading, for alighting or boarding vehicles. What must you reckon with when you see these traffic signs? The roadway narrowing for 50 meters. The roadway narrowing approximately 50 meters ahead. A road widening 50 meters ahead. Which vehicles are not allowed to use a road sign posted like this? Motorcycles. Trucks. Cars. What does this traffic sign indicate? The end of the autobahn. What should you anticipate when you see this road sign? Vehicles ahead that may swerve out suddenly to the left. Vehicles ahead that may brake suddenly. Tree branches lying on the roadway. What does this traffic sign require of you? Greatest alertness. Readiness to brake. Reduction in speed. Which vehicles are allowed to use the special lane marked like this? Regular buses. What does this traffic sign combination indicate? Danger in connection with horse and carriages. That horse and carriages have priority over motor vehicles. What must you remember when you see this traffic sign? Maximum permissible speed 50 km per hour. Track vehicles have priority. Use snow chains. Which traffic sign refers to the permissible total mass? What must you remember when you see this traffic sign? Vehicles may come out of this road. You may enter this road. You may not enter this road. What vehicles may enter a cycle highway that has this sign? All mopeds with a maximum design speed less than 25 km per hour. All cars, provided they travel at walking speed. All vehicles driven by residents. What does this traffic sign indicate? A path, which may not be used by riders. A bridle path which riders are required to use. A bridle path, which may not be used by other road users. What motor vehicles may enter an environment zone that has this sign? Motor vehicles that meet the requirements for a green particulate emissions sticker, even if no such sticker is attached. Motor vehicles with a green particulate emissions sticker. Motorcycles. You want to exit the motorway. What is the right course of action in this situation? I watch out for oncoming vehicles. I move into the left-hand lane. I continue by driving on the hard shoulder. Which vehicles can cause serious accidents when this traffic sign is ignored? Length 4 meters, width 2.5 meters, height 2.5 meters. Length 10 meters, width 3.9 meters, height 3 meters. Length 8 meters, width 2.5 meters, height 4 meters. What must you anticipate with this road sign? You are nearing a hard right-hand bend. Oncoming traffic might cut the corner. Vehicles in front of me might slow down sharply. Pedestrians could cross the road. I may drive past the bus at walking speed. I may not drive past the bus. Pedestrians could cross the road. Pedestrians could cross the road. I may drive past the bus at walking speed. I perform an emergency braking maneuver. I continue driving, ready to brake. What is correct in this situation? Not allowed to drive on the advisory bike lane. Allowed to drive on the advisory bike lane, only until I am past the truck. Allowed to drive on the advisory bike lane after I have ruled out any risk to cyclists by carefully observing the road traffic situation. You are driving a purely electric vehicle in a residential area. What should you be aware of due to your lower engine noise? Pedestrians will not notice me or will do so later than usual. Vehicles following behind will tailgate me. Cyclists traveling ahead will turn left, without looking behind them. What must you note when overtaking the cyclists in this situation? The incline causes the cyclists to sway. I must overtake with, at least 1.5 meters of side clearance. I must overtake with, at least 1.0 meters of side clearance. What vehicles may be parked alongside other parked cars on the roadway? All vehicles when they have their hazard lights switched on. All vehicles when they are being loaded or unloaded. All taxis when passengers get in or out. What is the correct course of action in this situation? I stop and allow the person to cross the road. I flash my headlights to signal to the person that I am giving way. I drive to the left past the person, leaving sufficient clearance space. What is the benefit of recuperation in an electric vehicle? Recuperation means that energy can be recovered from the braking operation. Conserves the service brake system. Increases range. Because of the electric scooter. Because of the pedestrian. Because the bus is moving off. What applies according to this traffic sign? I may not impede pedestrians. What must you note when overtaking the cyclists in this situation? I must overtake with at least 1.5 meters of side clearance. I must overtake with at least 1.0 meters of side clearance. The incline causes the cyclists to sway. What should you anticipate? That pedestrians will wait until I have driven past. That pedestrians will walk onto the road in front of me. That children will suddenly appear between the vehicles. What applies immediately before and on zebra crossings? You may not overtake, park, stop. That the truck in front of me will come to a sudden stop, will swing outwards even more, will remain stationary in the right-hand lane. What is the correct course of action in this situation? I watch the pedestrians closely. I reduce my speed and prepare to stop if necessary. I continue driving at the same speed. What must you anticipate here? A reduced amount of side clearance from oncoming traffic. That you may be dazzled by the low-lying sun. Pedestrians on the carriageway. In front of you is a pedestrian crossing, beyond which the traffic in your lane is backed up. What should you do? Wait on the pedestrian crossing to shorten the traffic jam. Come to a stop before the pedestrian crossing to allow people to cross. Wait on the pedestrian crossing if there is no one in sight. What must you do upon seeing this traffic sign? I must allow the pedestrians to cross the road. I must approach at a moderate speed if it is clear that pedestrians want to cross the road. I may not remain stationary on the pedestrian crossing if the traffic backs up. Which vehicles must you allow to set off from marked bus stops? Regular buses, taxis, school buses. What is the correct course of action in this situation? I drive with an increased level of alertness. I maintain my speed. I slow down to walking speed now. What must you be prepared for here? That the flowing traffic will come to a stop. That children will cross the road more frequently than usual. That children will be playing on the road under supervision. You want to transport furniture in the van shown here up to 3.5 t. Compared to driving a car, what do you have to be aware of? Can roll over more easily when cornering. Is vulnerable to side winds. Requires special attention regarding vertical clearances. Because of the white van, motorbike, red vehicle. What information should you obtain before undertaking a journey with a purely electric vehicle? What I have to do following an accident. The locations at which I can charge the vehicle. Factors that influence the range. Factors that influence the range. Why should you allow the truck to change lane? Because the driver of the truck may fail to see me. Because the alternate merging procedure applies here. Because I should show due consideration to the truck. You are driving on a road that has a protective lane for cyclists. How may you use the protective lane? If there is no risk to cyclists, I may drive on the protective lane when necessary. Stop on the protective lane. Park on the protective lane.